Good evening to all the attendees. I welcome you all to this workshop on MS Excel, which is being conducted by the Skills and Entrepreneurship Committee of Mahdi Bagh Youth Club. I also welcome all GB members, heads, and vice heads of various committees. This organization of talented and driven people was created 10 years ago by our Honorable President, Mr. Moin Malak, with the sole aim of giving back to the society. We have grown from Nagpur and reached out to Vishakapatnam, Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore, and Ujjain. We also have international branches in the United States, United Kingdom, U.A.E, and Australia. Our mission is to conserve and promote art and culture and to work for the social well-being of all communities around us. Organizing events, including cultural events, art shows, is done on a large scale for the purpose of propagating talent and supporting causes. We also believe in building a strong foundation for the youth so as to represent India to the world. Let me now take the opportunity to introduce the speaker for this evening, Mr. Ashfaq Hussain Nagpurwala. He is currently working as a senior business analyst and operations manager at Gramophone and has previously worked with companies like JK Tires, Grofers, and Doms. He has studied MBA in Supply Chain Management from Symbiosis International University, Pune. He has also taken seminars on MS Excel in-house as well as in NMIMS University. Now I would like Mr. Ashfaq to begin with today's session.
Everyone able to hear me? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Azim, for introducing me so well. And I welcome each and every attendee of this session. And I hope I justify the aim of the session and everyone goes with some good takeaways. Now, I would jump directly into what the session is all about. And I would take you all through first what we are going to learn in this session. And then I would share my screen on Google Excel sheets and we will learn about what all we can take benefit out of Excel. Now, so the flow of session for today's session will be for all those people who are not aware of what Excel is all about. I would spend a couple of minutes and show them what Excel is actually, and I won't spend a lot of time in that. And then rather than covering the complete session in bits and pieces and showing you formulas across Excel, we would together build or design a student management system, a final product which can be used by you guys. For the teachers, it will be a direct product. For all those people who are working in corporates or maybe our students, they can build something of their own on similar lines and take benefit out of it. And then while concluding the session, I will be sharing a bonus trick with you guys, which can be used for data entries. Which can simplify your data entry skills altogether. So stay tuned till the end, and let's start with MS Excel. Right. I hope everyone is able to see my screen, which I'm sharing. Is that?
Yes, we are able to see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So what MS Excel is or what Google Sheets is, both are kind of similar things to work with. Both are tabular databases in which we enter the data and then we work around the functions built in MS Excel or Google Sheets, and we can make sensible reports out of it, or we can visualize the data properly, or do multiple other things which can ease our lives, ease our daily lives. It's not just that MS Excel or Google Sheets can be used only in corporate world or maybe student life. If you find it useful, you can make multiple things out of it. Starting from just a data entry thing, making a calendar, or maybe creating a library for you guys, or maybe creating a dictionary for you guys. You can there are n number of possibilities. You can think of it and you can achieve it. So what MS Excel, what this the screen currently in front of you is nothing but a combination of rows and columns. Rows, by rows I mean the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 written over here on the left hand side of your screen. And columns, it's nothing but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All these are columns. So these are rows and these are columns. Now the intersection of all these things, I hope everyone is comfortable in English, or shall I use both the languages together? I would rather prefer taking the session in both Hindi and English. Let's prefer English for that matter. So the intersection of column and a row, where this thing is intersecting. For example, I have selected H column and the 8th row. This particular intersection is called as cell. And the address of the cell, what I just said, H8 is the address of the cell, and you can see this right over the top, left-hand top corner of your screen. It's written H8. So this is where you find the address of the cell where in which you are working. And this is the address bar, wherein you can type anything. For example, ASDH I type, it will show in the cell as well as over the top in the address bar, as well as along with that, you can work with the formulas for that as well in the same address bar. Now, there are multiple other things. For example, on the top hand side, you can see file, home, insert, page layout, and multiple other things written, which is the toolbar from where you can access multiple ribbons. And in each and every ribbon, there are many different ways of how to beautify your sheet, or create charts or multiple other things. So whenever you have time, you just browse through all these things. I would rather prefer learning on the job. We will design a student management system, and while designing, we will be learning about many of these things, not all obviously. Excel is a very big animal, और I mean इस चीज को सीखने के लिए कम से कम 20 घंटों की जरूरत पड़ती है. It cannot be learned in a short span of 1 hour. So for that, I am sure MBYC will be organizing multiple seminars on across the topics, which Excel will be one of them. And if at all anyone wishes to join it in future as well, you can enroll with us, and we'll make sure that we impart whatever skills we have, and you get the benefit out of it. All right. So moving forward, whenever you are creating a database, जब भी आप लोग किसी एक database के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, या किसी एक शीट के ऊपर या टेबल के अंदर एंट्रीज कर रहे हैं, तो सबसे पहली चीज आप एंटर करते हैं सीरियल नंबर, और उसके बाद में फिर आगे की सारी चीजें आती है. फॉर एग्जांपल नाम डालते हैं. स्टूडेंट के बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो नेम आता है, फिर फादर का नाम आता है, फिर सरनेम आता है, और बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें आती जाती है. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग जो हमको एंटर करनी है वो है सीरियल नंबर. अब सीरियल नंबर एंटर करने का एक तरीका तो ये है कि मैं 1 टाइप करूं, फिर अगले सेल पे जाके 2 टाइप करूं, फिर नीचे जाते जाते 3, 4, 5, 6. और अगर मेरे पास में 1000-2000 स्टूडेंट्स हैं और इस तरीके से मुझे टाइप करना पड़ा, तो मेरे ख्याल में सीरियल नंबर्स ही एंटर करने में मुझे कम से कम नहीं तो भी 1-2 घंटे लग जाएंगे. सो व्हाट शुड बी द इजी वे आउट ऑफ इट? एक तरीका है ड्रैग द सेल्स. सो हाउ डू वी डू दैट? मैंने फर्स्ट सेल में 1 एंटर किया था, सेकंड सेल में 2 एंटर किया. अब मैं इन दोनों सेल को एक साथ सिलेक्ट करता हूं, और जैसे ही मैं इसको सिलेक्ट करता हूं, इस पूरे बॉक्स के लेफ्ट हैंड बॉटम कॉर्नर, राइट हैंड बॉटम कॉर्नर के ऊपर एक बॉक्स जैसा बन के आता है, जहां पर मैं अपना कर्सर लेके जाता हूं, तो जो पहले व्हाइट कलर का प्लस का सिंबल था वो एक ब्लैक कलर के प्लस के सिंबल में बदल जाता है. मैं इसके ऊपर क्लिक करके इसको ड्रैग करता हूं नीचे, और अपने मन से नंबर्स पॉपअप हो जाते हैं. सो आई डोंट नीड टू टाइप इट अगेन एंड अगेन. दिस इज वन ऑफ द वेज. द अदर वे इज you use the flash command. Now fill command. Now how to use that? जब आप अपनी स्क्रीन के होम वाले टूल बार पे राइट हैंड साइड पे जब आप जाते हैं, तो यहाँ पर एक फिल का ऑप्शन दिखता है. आई होप एवरीवन इज एबल टू सी दैट, राइट? So what I want is, I want to fill the numbers from 1 to maybe 1000. Okay, and so I go there. फिल के साइड में इस डाउन एरो की के ऊपर मैं क्लिक करता हूं, तो उसमें बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस आते हैं, डाउन, अप, लेफ्ट, बट अभी मुझे एक सीरीज फिल करना है, तो मैं डायरेक्टली जाता हूँ और एक सीरीज को फिल करने की कोशिश करता हूँ। मैं सीरीज के ऊपर जैसे ही क्लिक करता हूँ, एक अलग से डायलॉग बॉक्स ओपन होता है जिसमें इट सेज दैट यू वांट टू फिल द सीरीज इन रोज या कॉलम्स। कहाँ पर आपको सीरीज फिल करनी है, एक सेकेंड रो के अंदर या ए कॉलम में? मुझे ए कॉलम के अंदर फिल करनी है। लीनियर फिल करना है, ग्रोथ किसी तरीके से फिल करना है, या डेट फिल करनी है, तो मुझे नंबर्स फिल करने हैं लीनियर ऑर्डर में, तो मैं लीनियर को ही सिलेक्टेड रहने देता हूँ। और उसके बाद में फिर नीचे जब हम देखते हैं तो एक स्टेप वैल्यू आता है। मुझे अभी फिलहाल 1 की स्टेप वैल्यू चाहिए, आप इसको चेंज करके 2, 3, 4 कोई भी स्टेप वैल्यू ले सकते हो। मुझे एक एक नंबर से आगे बढ़ना है, तो मैं स्टेप वैल्यू 1 लेता हूँ और इसके बाद में स्टॉप वैल्यू के ऊपर यहाँ पर डाल देता हूँ मैं, लेट्स जस्ट से 1000। जैसे ही मैं ओके पे क्लिक करता हूँ, वाला लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे आप जब देखेंगे तो सीरियल नंबर में 1 से लेके 1000 तक के सारे नंबर फिल हो चुके हैं। परफेक्ट। तो फिल इज वन ऑफ द वेज वेयरइन यू कैन डू द सीरियल नंबर फिलिंग। नाउ लेट्स जस्ट गो टू अदर टाइप्स। अब हम यहाँ पर नाम डालेंगे, सरनेम डालेंगे, तो मेरे पास में एक लिस्ट तैयार है स्टूडेंट्स की। मैंने यहाँ पर 200 स्टूडेंट के नाम लिए हैं और मेरा टारगेट है यहाँ पर, मैंने किसी एक टीचर को दे दिया कि भाई इसका नाम, फादर का नाम और सरनेम को अलग अलग कर दीजिए। राइट। तो अब अगर टीचर को एक्सेल नहीं पता है तो वो क्या करेंगे, या मुझे एक्सेल नहीं पता है, तो मैं एक ट्रेडिशनल मेथड यूज करूंगा और पहले बंदे का नाम लिखूंगा जो कि यहाँ पर है जैकान, सरनेम लिखूंगा ग्रेसन, सॉरी फादर्स नेम लिखूंगा ग्रेसन, सरनेम लिखूंगा लायंस, और इस तरीके से मैं नीचे की साइड में प्रोसीड करते जाऊंगा। बट इस तरीके से मैं 200 स्टूडेंट्स के नाम लिखने बैठा तो मेरे ख्याल में आज का सेशन 10 घंटे का हो जाएगा और यही नाम ही फिल कर पाऊंगा मैं। तो देन कम्स फ्लैश फिल करके एक ऑप्शन आता है, इन विच यू जस्ट नीड टू डू दैट फर्स्ट लाइन द ट्रेडिशनल मेथड। सो हाउ डू यू डू दैट? मैं पहले बच्चे का नाम लिखता हूं जो कि था जकान, राइट। और दूसरे बच्चे के नाम का पहला अक्षर जैसे ही मैं टाइप करता हूं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल गैब्रियल का जी मैंने टाइप किया, तो यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे कि पूरी लिस्ट आ चुकी है। और जी एंटर करने के बाद में जैसे ही मैं एंटर प्रेस करता हूं, सारे नाम अपने मन से आ चुके हैं। फर्स्ट नेम अपने मन से एक्सेल ने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिए हैं कि भाई मैं फर्स्ट नेम टाइप करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं इस पर्टिकुलर टेबल में, तो वो उसने अपने आप से एक मुझे सजेशन दिया एंड आई एनकैश दैट सजेशन, और ये सारे फर्स्ट नेम मेरे पास में यहाँ पर। सिमिलरली फादर का नाम था ग्रेसन और दूसरे बच्चे के फादर का नाम था वॉकर, मैं उसके नाम का फर्स्ट लेटर टाइप कर रहा हूँ और एंटर मारता हूँ, सारे नाम आ जाएंगे। सिमिलरली सरनेम में लायंस पहले बच्चे का के पापा का सरनेम था, दूसरे बच्चे का था मुलन्स, मैं एम टाइप करके एंटर मारता हूँ, ये यहाँ पर आ जाते हैं सारे नाम। सो दिस इज हाउ वी वर्क फास्टर इन एक्सेल एंड in a much more efficient way as compared to the traditional method. मैं traditional method से टाइप करते बैठता तो हो सकता था मुझे स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स मुझसे हो जाती है, या बहुत सारी अलग अलग चीजें। अब कुछ लोग यहाँ पर बोलेंगे कि यार ये भी बहुत ज्यादा लंबा मेथड है, आप मुझे और ज्यादा छोटा मेथड दिखाओ। तो आई कैन सी यहाँ पर के सारे जितने भी बच्चे हैं उनके उन सारे बच्चों के नाम है, फादर्स नेम है और सरनेम है, और बीच में एक स्पेस बार है एज अ डिलिमिटर। तो क्या ऐसा कोई तरीका है जिससे मैं सारे नामों को एक साथ स्प्लिट कर दूं इन 3 डिफरेंट कॉलम्स? यस, देयर इज अ वे। और वो तरीका ये है कि आप पूरे बी कॉलम के अंदर जितने भी नाम है सबको सिलेक्ट कीजिए, डेटा करके जो टूल बार है डेटा पे जाइए, और डेटा में एक डेटा की रिबन में यहाँ पर आपको दिखेगा टेक्स्ट टू कॉलम्स। व्हेन आई क्लिक ऑन टेक्स्ट टू कॉलम्स यू गेट अ न्यू डायलॉग बॉक्स, और वो बोलता है कि डीलिमिटेड आपको ब्रेक करना है या फिक्स्ड विड्थ पे ब्रेक करना है। आई हैव अ डीलिमिटेड राइट नाउ व्हिच इज अ स्पेस बार, तो आई वांट टू ब्रेक दिस सीरीज ऑफ नेम्स इनटू इन अ डीलिमिटेड फॉर्मेट, राइट। आई क्लिक ऑन नेक्स्ट, और नेक्स्ट पे क्लिक करते ही मुझे यहाँ पर एक दूसरा डायलॉग बॉक्स मिलता है कि टैब्स, आपका डिलिमिटर क्या है, टैब है, सेमीकोलन है, कॉमा है या स्पेस बार है। इन माय केस इट्स अ स्पेस बार, मैं स्पेस बार पे क्लिक करता हूँ तो आपको नीचे यहाँ पर दिखेगा सारे नाम जो हैं वो स्प्लिट हो चुके हैं, राइट। नाउ आई वांट I want Excel to put this data into a particular table या किसी दूसरी लोकेशन पे, तो मैं यहाँ पर जाके उसको लोकेशन का पहला सेल देता हूँ कि भाई मुझे C2 के ऊपर ये वाला डेटा पेस्ट करके दे दो. I hit enter, I hit finish, and the whole table is splitted. So splitting the text is one thing where you can split the whole data in multiple ways. Traditional method would take time, the other two methods would not take time, and your task will be completed in seconds if not minutes, right? अब ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि हमारे पास में नाम, फादर नेम और सरनेम हो और मुझे इन तीनों को मर्ज करना है. तो मर्ज करने के लिए हम अब फंक्शंस पे जाएंगे. फंक्शंस पे जाने के लिए सबसे पहली चीज जो आप लोगों को पता होनी चाहिए, किसी भी फंक्शन को यूज करने से पहले मुझे इक्वल्स टू का सिंबल लगाना पड़ता है. इक्वल्स टू जैसे ही मैं करूंगा तो ये एक्सेल शीट अब फंक्शन मोड पे जा चुकी है, और फंक्शन मोड पे जाने के बाद में मैं इससे बोलता हूं कि ये तीनों जो चीजें हैं, नाम, फादर नेम और सरनेम, इन तीनों चीजों को आप मर्ज कर दो या कॉन्कैटिनेट कर दो. तो कॉन्कैटिनेट करने का एक तरीका तो ये है कि मैं फर्स्ट नेम सिलेक्ट करूं और M% या एंड का सिंबल लगाऊं, और उसके बाद फिर सेकंड फादर्स नेम को सिलेक्ट करूं, फिर से एंड का सिंबल दबाऊं, और फिर सरनेम सिलेक्ट करूं, और उसके बाद मैं एंटर मारूं. अब जब मैं एंटर मारूंगा तब यहाँ पर आपको दिखेगा कि बीच के स्पेसेस नहीं होंगे, गायब हो चुके होंगे, क्योंकि मैंने M% लगाने से पहले इसको ये नहीं बताया कि बीच में आपको स्पेसेस देने. तो वो चीज मैं कैसे करूंगा, मैं इसको बोलूंगा कि भाई आप C2 सिलेक्ट कीजिए एंड M% लगा के उसके बाद फिर एक टेक्स्ट इंसर्ट कीजिए जो कि इन्वर्टेड कॉमास के अंदर आएगा स्पेस बार के साथ. फिर से M%, फादर का नाम और सरनेम. सो दिस विल गिव यू द होल टेक्स्ट with space bar as delimiter. अब आप इसकी जगह delimiter कुछ भी लगा सकते हैं, it's up to you. I hope fill, flash fill, ये दोनों चीजें आप लोगों को समझ में आ गई होंगी. Okay, so now moving on to this very table. अब इसमें यार मुझे ये चीज जो है देखने में बहुत अजीब सी लग रही है. केवल ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट टेक्स्ट में कहीं पर भी सीरीज या नामों से नाम ऊपर नीचे कर सकता हूँ. सीरियल नंबर 3 के आगे मैं अलेक्जेंडर पढ़ सकता हूँ. तो मुझे इसको फॉर्मेटिंग करनी पड़ेगी. अब फॉर्मेटिंग हम कैसे करते हैं? फॉर्मेटिंग करना मतलब आपकी एक्सेल शीट को ब्यूटिफाई करना या प्रेजेंटेबल बनाना, ताकि सामने कोई दूसरा आपकी शीट को देख रहा है या एक्सेल शीट को रेफर कर रहा है, he understands what exactly we are trying to say, and then he makes more sense out of it. So beautification is nothing but we kind of format this whole sheet. Now how do we format this? So when you go to the home tab के अंदर आप जब जाते हैं तब यहाँ font के नीचे आपको एक पेंट के डब्बे जैसा एक सिंबल दिखता है, पेंट बॉक्स जैसा एक सिंबल दिखता है. Now which gives you a fill color option. So how do you do that? मुझे पहली वाली रो को fill करना है. Let's just say I fill it with some color, maybe blue, right? अब ये टेक्स्ट जो है ब्लैक में है, मुझे इसको व्हाइट कर देना है. So I change the font color to white and then I bold it. I say that इसको bold कर दो, तो ये bold कर देगा. फिर center align, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. You work around with it and you will find out. But इसके बावजूद मेरा बाकी का टेबल जो है वो अभी भी black and white ही है. So what do I do? इसी रिबन के ऊपर आपको एक फॉर्मेट एज टेबल करके ऑप्शन दिख रहा होगा. फॉर्मेट एज टेबल के ऊपर जब आप क्लिक करते हो तब यहाँ पर बहुत सारे अलग अलग प्री डिफाइंड टेबल फॉर्मेटिंग के तरीके दे रखे हैं. यू सिलेक्ट एनीवन व्हिच यू वांट एंड एज सून एज यू सिलेक्ट दिस, आप ये टेबल अपने मन से आइडेंटिफाई कर लेता है एक्सेल, और आपको पूछता है कि आपका जो टेबल है वो इसी रेंज में है क्या, A1 से लेके E201 की ही रेंज में है. We say okay, yes, and the whole table is formatted with alternate colors. So it's now easier for you to identify कि मैं कौन से सेल पे काम कर रहा हूँ या कौन सी रो पे काम कर रहा हूँ या कौन से कॉलम पे काम कर रहा हूँ. Alright, now Control Z का नाम की एक चीज होती है जिससे which is known as undo. Whatever I have done, I can undo it easily. and we can apply any other formatting which we want. Currently मैंने undo इसलिए किया है क्योंकि जब इस पर्टिकुलर शीट के ऊपर आप नीचे जाते हो तो जो हेडिंग्स आपने लिखी थी रो नंबर 1 में वो कहीं गायब हो जाती है. अभी फिलहाल तो 5 ही हेडिंग्स हैं, तो इट्स फाइन. मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि पहले वाले रो में सीरियल, पहले कॉलम में सीरियल नंबर है, दूसरे में नाम है. The third one is having name, then father's name, and then the surname. But what if we have multiple columns and it's difficult for us to identify that? So what we do is we freeze the panes. Freeze panes करके एक option है, using which अब देखते हैं freeze panes करके होता क्या है. So we go to view, and over here in this particular ribbon we find freeze panes option. How do we use that? We go on to the second row of the table, the row beneath which the first row we need to freeze. We go to the second row and then we click on freeze panes. Now what do you want to freeze? Freeze the first row and the first column, or maybe freeze the top row. In this particular situation I want to freeze the top row. I click on this, and when now I go down, the first row remains frozen and I can identify easily कि मैं कौन से कॉलम के अंदर कुछ भी अगर डेटा एंट्री चेंज कर रहा हूं तो मैं कौन से कॉलम में कर रहा हूं. Fair enough. So we have learned till now fill, flash fill, text to columns, and freezing of the panes. Right. Now let's go a bit forward, and I have kind of included this very table with the date of births of all the students. The first student is me. I don't know how I am of 15 years, but thanks. So now we have date of births along with us, and this by this we will be identifying, or we will be working around with date functions. अब मेरे किसी टीचर को इस डेट ऑफ बर्थ में से मंथ अलग करना है, डे अलग करना है और ईयर अलग करना है. सो हाउ डज ही और शी डू इट? सो वी हैव 3 formulas of the same sort. For identifying the day of the month, we have day option, day function, which is used by equals to day. Similarly, month equals to month, and then similarly year equals to year. So I want to find out what is the day or what is the date. So I type day equals to day, bracket open, और मुझे F3 के अंदर जो डेट लिखी हुई है उसका डे आइडेंटिफाई करना है. I click on F3, or maybe I type F3, whatever is convenient for you, and I hit enter. So the date of this particular day of this particular date is 10. Similarly, I want to find out the month, month, bracket open, and then click on F3, enter. So it's the 3rd month and the year is 2019. Now I want to fill this up in all the cells. So I have 200 students and I want to fill this up in all of them. So one way is, which we saw earlier, go to the bottom right corner and drag it, or else the second method is just double click on it and each and everything will be auto populated. All right. So I have this date, month and year along with me. अब मुझे date और year तो ठीक है, 15 और 2010, it's fine. But I want to find out that what 2 stands for or what 3 stands for. So then we come to text functions. The 4th function we will be learning in this particular sheet is the text function. And text function is a very, very powerful tool in whichever, I mean, documentation you are doing or any other thing, but it's the least used tool. So learn it carefully. So I want to find out the name of this month. So what I do is I type equals to, and then I type text and I open the parenthesis and I select the date of which I want to find out the month. Now in this particular function, what we can do is we can identify multiple things. What all we can identify, I'll let you know right now. I open the inverted commas and then I ask it to give me the month in FEB or MAR format. That is the 3 alphabet format. So I type MMM and close the inverted commas and close the parenthesis and I hit enter. So the month, the name of the month is FEB. That is the February. But now I want that FEB अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. I want to write the whole spelling of February, March, April, May, whatever I want. Right? So I type this function again, which is text. I select the date, comma, inverted commas, and I just write this M. Earlier I wrote the M 3 times. I'll be writing it 4 times now. And close the inverted commas, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. Right? So you can see the difference. In the first cell, we got the month in 3-digit format, 3-letter format, and now we are getting it in the complete. I mean, the month is specified in whole, and I drag it. I'll drag it later. And similar text function. I want to find out which day was this guy born. I mean, was it a Monday? Was it a Tuesday? Was it a Saturday? Whatever it was. And finding it out on a calendar is like a tedious job. I put Excel to use again with the same function, which is text. Open the parenthesis, select the date, comma, inverted commas. And earlier we used MMMM. I now use DDDD. Close the parenthesis. Close the inverted commas, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. So 15th Feb 2010 was a Monday. I double click on the right hand bottom corner, and you get all the days of all the students were born on which day. Cool. Now, what is the age of this student right now? Maybe in days. So there is the fourth function which we'll be learning today, which is today. Fair enough. So today gives us the day today, right? So when I hit equals to and write TODAY, parenthesis open and parenthesis close, and I hit enter. So the date today is 21st of July 2022, right? I use the same function over here as well, but I want to find out the age of this student in days, right? So we will be subtracting the current date from the date he was born. Now, how do we do that? I use TODAY, parenthesis open, close, and then I subtract that with the date of birth of this particular student, and I hit enter. Right? You will be able to see that this is coming in date form, but no, it's not a day. We are calculating the number of days between these two things, right? So what do we do is we go to the home bar, and over here we'll find multiple options. How I mean, there are we can specify this particular text in number format, currency format, accounting format, maybe date format, percentage format, whatever we want. Currently we are seeking number or fractions. We just hit on number. So the number of days from the day he was born till today is 4539. I drag this to the end, and I find the age in days of all the students I have in my class. Divided by 365, and you'll get the number of years he is of, right? The age of the student in years. Now, finally, I want to give each and every student an enrollment ID. Now we have a serial number, and serial number is good enough for us to make the enrollment ID, but I want it kind of similar for all the students. I don't want the first 9 students enrollment ID be of 1 digit, then of 2 digit, and then of 3 digits, right? So I kind of make another function. We have learned the text function, we have learned concatenate, and we have learned ampersand as well. So what I'll be doing is I want the enrollment ID to start with EN, which is a text, so I'll be putting it in an inverted commas. EN, inverted commas closed, ampersand, and then I want the serial number in 0001 format. So what I'll do is I'll use the text function, open the parenthesis, select the serial number, hit a comma, and then in the inverted commas, where we earlier used MMMM or DDDD, I'll be using 0000, the number of digits I want the enrollment ID of. I close the inverted commas, I close the parenthesis, and I hit enter. So you'll get the enrollment ID EN0001. When I drag it down, you'll get all the enrollment IDs up till 200, 201. And that is what we require for kind of making our database. So in this particular sheet, we have learned about date functions, text functions, and subtraction as well. Now, let us move forward and kind of, we have the whole list of students and we have taken the examination and people have given out their marks. Maths teacher has given out his marks, science teacher has given out his marks, English, social science. But the French teacher, like me, was kind of very lazy. I consider myself lazy. So I decided to give out random marks. So I will be using rand function to give all these students marks between 50 to 60. Right? I don't want anyone to have more marks. I don't want anyone to have less marks. So what I do is I hit equal to and then use rand function, R-A-N-D. I open the parenthesis and for now I close the parenthesis. When I hit enter, you'll see that the number is less than 1. So the rand function gives you a number which is less than 1 and greater than 0. When I hit double click on this, you'll get all the numbers ranging between 0 and 1. But no, I didn't want that. I wanted a number range between two numbers. So I'll be using a new function which is rand between, which is the third function over here, which you can see on my screen. I hit double click, rand between, and then the Excel sheet asks me that what is the bottom limit and what is the top limit. So what we decided is I want to give them marks between 50 and 60. I close the parenthesis and I hit enter, right? So you'll see now all the numbers, when I drag this thing down, all the numbers will be ranging between 50 and 60. But the bad thing about the rand function is you cannot keep it as is. Whenever you hit something else in any other cell, you'll see the numbers changes. The numbers tend to change, right? So we'll be using the paste special things over here. So what I do is I select all the numbers and I hit Control C. Control C is used for copy. And then Control V is used for paste. But since we have a formula written over here, Control V won't be good. Control V, when I hit Control V, it will give me again a random range from 50 to 60. So what I do, I go up to home toolbar, and towards the left hand side of my screen, you'll see a paste thing and a downward arrow key. जब आप इसके ऊपर क्लिक करते हो तब एक बहुत बड़ा सा टूल बार ओपन हो जाता है जिसके अंदर paste values, multiple other things pop up, right? So I want to paste values में एक पे आप जाएंगे तो यहाँ पर नीचे दिखेगा values, दूसरे पे आप जाएंगे values and number formatting, तीसरे पे आप जाएंगे values and source formatting. Currently I just want values, so I hit values, and you'll see that all the numbers now the formulas now have disappeared and only the numbers pop up, right? So now my next task as a teacher is to find out what is the total marks the student has got. So one way is I add up 52 plus 44 plus 36 plus 48 plus 60, or the other way is I use the sum function, which again is a function, so it starts with equals to symbol, and I use the sum function, open the parenthesis and select the range of the numbers which Jacon has received and hit enter. So the total marks received by Jacon is 240. Since I have applied this function in the first cell, I can just double click and all the students total will be with me. I don't need to use a calculator for this, right? The other way how we can do this is use the Autosum function. Someone has unmuted himself. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. So the other way is Autosum. So on the home toolbar, towards the right, you will find Autosum written over there. When you hit on this drop down, you'll see that you can sum, you can average the numbers, you can count the numbers, you can find the maximum, you can find the minimum. I just want to find the sum. As soon as I click on that, it has again highlighted the possible number range which I would like to sum. The Excel has done the job for me, and I just need to hit enter. I use this again on the second as well. I click on AutoSum. It has identified the range of the second student. I hit enter, and I just double click it. Right now, I want to find the average marks he has received. On the drop down, I click on average. But now in average, it has selected the total marks as well. It has not identified the correct range. No problems. We'll guide Excel to do that. And I select the first 5 columns and then hit enter. So the average marks this particular student has received is 48. Right? How do you find the percentage? You can use multiple things. One is you divide the total number of marks received by the total marks the maximum marks, which is in this particular case 500, and hit enter. But currently what we are getting is 0.48. It's not in the percentage format. So again, we go to the home tab, and the place from where you selected the different formats of the number, वहीं पर नीचे आप देखेंगे तो करेंसी भी आप इसको सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप इसको परसेंटेज फॉर्म में डिनोट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन काइंड ऑफ डिस्प्ले इट इन अ क्या बोलते हैं करेंसी फॉर्मेट, कॉमा फॉर्मेट, or you can kind of reduce the number of decimals or increase the number of decimals, which whatever you want to do. Currently what we want is we want this to be displayed in a percentage format. I hit the percentage symbol and you get all the marks he has received in a percentage format. Right now you want to find out maximum. The function for that is max, max of what? Of this particular number range. Right, what is the maximum marks he has received in any of the subjects? So it is 60. Similarly, minimum, for minimum we use min, open the parenthesis, select the range and hit enter. So minimum marks he has received is 36, and we'll come to ranking later. First of all, we'll find out what is the total, what sum and other things we can use, what other functions we can use. So average we have used, max we have used, min we have used. All the statistics people would say median and mode are 2 other things which we can use. So the function is the same. Median, you hit equals to MEDIAN, median, and you give it a number range. What is the median marks he has received maybe in maths? Select the complete range, hit enter. So the median marks he has received is 69. Similarly, mode, it's the same function. You can try it out yourselves. Now I want to find out, I have done, I being a teacher, I have done all my formalities, and I want to find out which student stood first, which student stood second in the class, and so on and so forth. One way is the traditional method. I find out, okay, 370 is the largest, so he must be the first, the rank number 1. But I can kind of be wrong. Let's put Excel to use again. So for rank is the function rank. Select the number range, select the number, and then select the number range, reference range. What is the reference range? It's this. What order do you want? You want it in ascending order or descending order? Descending order. For descending order, you need to type 0. For ascending order, you need to type 1. Currently, I want in descending order, the highest or the lowest. So I type 0, hit enter. So this particular student has a ranking of 196 in the descending order. And this is how we get the ranks. If you want to find it in ascending order, you just need to change the 0 to 1, hit enter, and go down. So whichever you want. Obviously, you want it in descending order. The highest number of marks has the first rank, and the lowest number of marks has the second, has the last rank. So it should be 0. and your task is done. So this is how you use multiple arithmetic formulas, which includes sum, average, maximum, minimum, ranking, and percentages as well. You can use this. I mean, I am teaching this on for a student management system, but the usability is not limited just to this. You can use it in multiple over multiple platforms. I mean, if you are an accounting student, you can do your calculations of accounting calculations on MS Excel. If you want to just use MS Excel for home money management system, you can do that as well. You can kind of create your projects on this. You can make graphs, charts out of it. You can do multiple other things. So now we move forward and see how to create a drop down. So I have this student management system along with me. I have created this my sheet and I have given it a formatting as well. But now when my office guy was sitting over there, he wanted to find out that कोई भी एक पेरेंट अगर आया है तो वो पूरी फीस देगा, फुल फीस देगा, या हाफ ईयरली फीस देगा, या क्वार्टरली फीस देगा, या मंथली फीस देगा. तो आई क्रिएटेड दिस ड्रॉप डाउन. How do we create these drop downs? One way is that okay, I'll teach it. How do we create drop downs? So on the toolbar there is a data tab, and in data you have this data validation on the ribbon right besides remove duplicates. When you click on data validation, you get to give it multiple ways in which you need to validate this data. You need to give the drop down to this data. What I did is I created a new tab in which I wrote down the 4 different methods in which a particular parent can pay the fee, right? And I wanted this to be the drop down for him. I'll teach how to make drop down over here only. So I go to data validation. In the data validation thing, it gives me allow any value, allow whole numbers, decimal, or list. Currently, I want it to be a list, which is written over here, right? So what I did is I selected allow list, and in the source, I created on this arrow towards the right, clicked on it, and selected the first 4 cells of the E column. And I said, okay, right? So you can see the change in this particular cell. Every other cell has nothing, but in this particular cell over the right hand in the right hand side, you'll get a drop down arrow, right? This drop down, when you click on this okay, when you click on this drop down, you'll see whatever we wrote in this column, you'll see this in a drop down over here. The same method I used in the student management system as well. Now my target is to find out that if a parent is paying in full, then what will be the number of installments? If he is paying in as half yearly, what will be the number of installments? Similarly, quarterly and monthly, and what discount I need to give. So over here we use lookups, and this very table which I created, you can see 3 columns. Right, first column is the same drop down which we created right now. The second column I have written the number of installments he has to pay, and in the third column I have given it the discount if he pays in full, if he pays half yearly, if he pays quarterly, and if he pays monthly. Monthly I have given no discount. If he pays in full, I want to give him a discount of 3,000 rupees, right? So in M2 I selected, let's just say full, and I give a VLOOKUP formula. Lookups are nothing but I want to find a particular thing which I have written over here in the reference table and get what I want in the corresponding cells. मैं हिंदी में भी बोल देता हूँ, जिस सेल के अंदर हमने कोई भी डेटा डाला है उस सेल के करस्पॉन्डिंग क्या डेटा डाला हुआ है सोर्स टेबल के अंदर, वो चीज मुझे यहाँ पर चाहिए. तो मैं लुकअप करूंगा, मैं ढूंढूंगा इस चीज को सोर्स टेबल में और उसकी करस्पॉन्डिंग वैल्यू यहाँ पर निकालूंगा. द सिंटेक्स फॉर विच इज वेरी सिंपल, which stands for, which is V look up. V is the alphabet V along with LOOKUP. What I want to find? I want to find whatever is written in cell number M2, right? Where do I want to find this from? I want to find this from this particular table range, which is E1 to G4. I selected this that array, and which column do I want to return? Which column? I mean, the table has 3 columns. First column is full, half yearly, quarterly, monthly. The second column is the number of installments, and the third column is the discount. Currently, I want to find whatever is written in the second column of this corresponding table. So I hit 2, and then I want an exact match. So I give it a number 0 and close the parenthesis, hit enter. So when it was full, the number of installment was 1. Similarly, when I select, let's just say quarterly, the number of installment changes to 4. When I select monthly, the number of installment changes to 10. Now I want to find out the discounts as well. So the same methodology we will be using, which is VLOOKUP. Open the parenthesis, select whatever is written in M2, hit a comma, select the table, hit a comma again, and this time the discount is written in the column third column. So I write 3 over here, hit a comma, and ask it to give me the exact match, and then close the parenthesis. So when it was monthly, there was no discount. When it was full, I get a discount of 3,000 rupees. So when I am creating a student management system or a student database, I have all these things which we learned so far are in this very sheet. We learned how to create an enrollment number. We learned how to kind of split the names. We learned how to find the age of the student. We learned how to create the drop down and the number of installments. Now, two more things, and we'll go to the bonus trick again. So I, being a person sitting in the front office, I am the person responsible to collect the fees. I don't have any room for errors for that matter. So what I do is I create this very sheet, and I have written. I'm sorry, any questions? Okay. I think someone has unmuted. Please mute yourself. Okay. So we have created this drop down, and as per the parents' agreement that okay, he'll be paying in full or he'll be paying half yearly. On the basis of that, we found out the discounts as well. Now, whenever the parent pays the fee, we create a simple table in which we write down installment received, which number of installment is received, and then we want to find out the status of that particular fee, right, of that particular student. So what I have done is I have created a simple table in which whenever the parent pays the fee, I write Y. And as soon as I type Y in this particular table, in the column U, you get to find out the number of installments he has paid, the parent has paid. For example, the second student's parent has paid 2 installments, so we get 2. The third student's parent has paid 1 installment, you get 1. How do we do that? So there is a simple formula which is COUNT, count. Count, what do we want to count? We want to count the number of times anything is written in this particular table. Now I hit enter, and you will find that I get a 0. Why so? Because we have entered the formula for counting of the numbers. If I would have written numbers or numeric format in this particular table, you would have received the Excel would have returned the number 1. But in this particular case, we have typed text. So to count the text, the formula is a bit different, but not much. COUNT is what we learned so far. Just type an A in front of it, open the parenthesis, and select the range. And now when you hit enter, you will find out the number of installments this particular parent has paid, which I have written over here. Okay, so now we we can kind of whoever is the front office manager, he can directly insert the number of times the student has paid the fee or the parent has paid the fee. For example, he has this particular student's fee has been paid thrice, and the number of installments he had to give was 4. So I returned this status that one installment is pending. Now, how do we do that? One installment is left, right? So we use the last function, which is if or nested if. If का मतलब होता है अगर, right? अगर किसी कोई एक पर्टिकुलर चीज हुई तो मुझे कुछ एक वैल्यू रिटर्न करनी है, और अगर वो चीज नहीं हुई तो मुझे कुछ दूसरी वैल्यू रिटर्न करनी, राइट? सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस मुझे ये पता करना है कि ये जो नंबर यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है यू कॉलम में, ये बराबर है जितनी नंबर ऑफ इंस्टॉलमेंट्स के लिए किसी पेरेंट ने एग्री किया था उससे। अगर है तो मुझे यहाँ पर लिख देना है पेड इन फुल, और अगर नहीं है तो मुझे लिख देना है नॉट पेड, लेट्स जस्ट से, राइट? व्हेन आई हिट एंटर, इस पर्टिकुलर बच्चे के पिताश्री ने आके एक इंस्टॉलमेंट पूरी की पूरी फीस जमा कर दी है, दूसरे बच्चे की भी मुझे पूरी फीस मिल गई है, लेकिन तीसरे बच्चे की अभी नहीं मिली है। तो तीसरे बच्चे के सामने यहाँ नॉट पेड लिखा आ जाएगा और बाकी सबके सामने पेड इन फुल लिखा आ जाएगा। So this is how you can create the front office worksheet for yourself, for your maybe office or any other. I mean, if you are working in corporate and you want to find out what is going on in your corporate, what is the status of the payments received, or maybe what is the status of payments to be done, or what is the status of goods to be received, or multiple other things. You can create similar software, similar dashboards for yourself, and you can work around it. Now, इतनी सारी चीजें तो हमने कर ली, अब इसको थोड़ा अच्छा भी दिखा देते हैं। मुझे ग्राफ्स प्लॉट करने हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट? सो आई गो टू समरी, इस टाइप का मुझे ग्राफ प्लॉट करना है। मैंने यहाँ पर ये चीज लिख दी है कि कौन सी क्लास में कितने बच्चे हैं और उनसे मुझे कितनी फीस रिसीव हुई है। ये चीज इस तरीके से दिखाने से ज्यादा बेटर है कि मैं इसको या तो दो अलग अलग ग्राफ्स के अंदर प्लॉट कर दूं, या फिर एक सिंगल ग्राफ में दो अलग अलग चीजों को डिपिक्ट करता हुआ प्लॉट कर दूं। Whoever is working in corporate, he must agree with this के graphical representation is more eye catchy as compared to text representation. मैं इसको भले tabular form के अंदर represent कर दूं, मैं इसको फॉर्मेट में जाके इसको एक टेबुलर फॉर्म में अच्छा सा खूबसूरत फॉर्मेटिंग दे भी दूं, बट डिस्पाइट दैट मुझे अगर ये पता करना है कि किस क्लास में कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं और उसका मुझे परसेंटेज ब्रेकअप अगर दिख जाता है तो इट विल बी मोर आई कैची। सो हाउ डू वी डू दैट? वी गो टू द इंसर्ट रिबन, एंड इन इंसर्ट रिबन देयर आर 4 different segments. The 4th segment is charts, right? I want to plot a chart of this. So as soon as I click on this, you'll get a good looking chart which says count of students in individual classes. Overall student in the school, student database in the school is like 200 students, and in 8th class I have 9% of the students. And when you click go or hover your cursor over any of these pies, you'll see count of students in 10th class is 20, and the percentage is split is 10, and multiple other things like that. If you want to change the format of this particular chart, you just need to go to chart styles, and there are many predefined chart styles over there. You can select any which you want, or maybe change the colors according to your liking or disliking. You can select monochrome, you can select colorful, whatever you want to, and then represent this data for your staff members, board members, or anyone else, right? So this was one thing. And before concluding the session, there are multiple other things which are in Excel or Google Sheets, which you should be knowing. Given the time constraint, I would end this session. Before ending this session, I'll show you this that the bonus trick which we talked about. But I would appreciate each and every one of you to join in further classes as well, because this was just the starting. I mean, the beginner and intermediate level things. There are multiple other things in MS Excel, and if you learn that, your life will be a lot easier as compared to what it is today, as from the point of view of your corporate life or your student life, or maybe your any other things which you do in your life. Now, the bonus trick which I was talking about, I have come across people who ask me कि ऐसा कोई तरीका है कि जिससे हाथ से लिखी हुई चीज किसी पेपर पे कहीं पर लिखा हुआ है, किसी बच्चे का होमवर्क है, या हमारे पास में कुछ डेटा आया है, वो पेपर फॉर्म में है, उसके ऊपर हाथ से लिखा हुआ है, मुझे उसको डिजिटाइज करना है और एक एक करके नाम टाइप करने में बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगता है. तो कोई ज्यादा सिंपल तरीका है क्या? Luckily, yes, we do right now. So for that, एक तरीका मैं आज बताऊंगा, एक तरीका अगली क्लास में बताऊंगा, अगले सेशन में बताऊंगा. I am sharing the screen of my mobile phone. Each and every one of you, I guess, today is having a smartphone for thyself, and the screen of my mobile phone looks something like this. This is me. Don't judge. And you have this powerful tool along with you, which is called Google Lens. You see right over here, this Google Lens or lens symbol, not the lens card one, the one above that. I select that thing, right? When I select this, there you can do multiple things, or you can have you can click a photograph, or maybe you can scan and read a particular photograph which you have for yourself already, right? So I have this particular image with me. I select this, right? And as soon as I select this, I can read it out loud. Management is dynamic in nature. Management cannot remain static. If I can convert, 70-80% of it as for me to text, or to what should I say, digital format, it would save my 80% of time, and I would just need to type the remaining 20% of the things. In the bottom bar, you can see translate, text, homework, search, whatever you want. Search is similar thing on Excel, but I don't want that. I click on text. As soon as I click on text, it says text found in image. You can select it or you can listen to it. As soon as I click on select all, it has selected each and everything, and then it gives me multiple options which says copy text, copy to computer, or listen. You can listen to it in your free time. It will be humorous for you guys. But for now, I'll copy this text. This text has been copied to my clipboard. I go to any platform. Let's just say I go to notes, and I add another note, and I paste this. So each and everything which you saw on that paper which was written is kind of jotted here. Maybe the Google has missed or got confused with a few letters, but maximum of whatever we read on that paper has been transferred to my mobile phone in a digital format. I hope this bonus trick was beneficial for you guys, and whatever I taught in this particular session was beneficial for you, maybe a bit for some, maybe more for others. But before signing off, I'll just summarize whatever session I took. In this particular session, we learned what Excel is actually, how to format an Excel sheet. We learned about flash fill. How do we split the columns, split the text to columns, use text functions. We didn't cover this today. We'll maybe cover it in the later part. What are the date functions, text functions, rand between, other arithmetic functions, if, arithmetic ifs we have not learned. So data validation we learned, lookups we learned. So this was, I'll conclude this session right now from my side. I would appreciate each and every one of you to join MBYC sessions, which are conducted across multiple pioneers, multiple other subjects. Excel sheets or Excel seminars will be held more in future if we get attendees. If you guys are interested in it, I would appreciate you guys to join. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer. Or if you get any questions in future, you can directly contact me personally, or you can contact the admin of this particular session, or you can drop me a message on WhatsApp on this very number. Thanks a lot. I would stop sharing my screen, and if at all there is any question, I would be happy to answer that. Any questions?
Sir, what about, excuse me?
Yeah, sure.
Just you told about, अच्छा ये आपने जो क्या लेंस जो बताया गूगल लेंस मोबाइल के ऊपर में
जी
स्मार्टफोन पे, उसको एक बार फिर से स्टार्ट करके बता सकते हैं कैसे स्टार्ट करते हैं?
ओके, मैं फिर से मेरी स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ.
जस्ट द स्टार्टिंग पार्ट.
Yeah, sure. It's very simple. I'll share my screen again. Able to see my screen?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry. Can you please let me know your name so that
मोहम्मद गौस.
मोहम्मद गौस. ओके मोहम्मद, सो इसको स्टार्ट करने का सिंपल तरीका ये है, आप आप मेन स्क्रीन पे जाइए और आप अपनी ही स्क्रीन के ऊपर जब आप देखेंगे तो व्हेन यू स्क्रॉल डाउन देयर इज एन ऐप कॉल्ड लेंस, गूगल लेंस. आपको दिख रहा है मेरे कोटक के आइकन के बाजू में यहाँ पर?
हाँ, ये इसको डाउनलोड करना पड़ता है क्या ऐप से?
अगर आपके पास में स्मार्टफोन है और नया नया लिया हुआ है तो मोस्ट लाइकली उसमें होगा, अदरवाइज यू कैन डाउनलोड इट फ्रॉम प्ले स्टोर.
ओके, मेरे इसमें नहीं है, ये दिख नहीं रहा है, तो मुझे
you can download it from Play Store. It's called Google Lens.
Google Lens, right sir? Thank you very much. Right.
Any other question?
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Sir, can we operate Excel on a mobile phone instead of computers or laptops?
Yes, you can. Again, there is, Microsoft Excel, MS Excel, for that, I guess there is a paid license, but for Google Sheets, there is no license. You just need to download Sheets on your mobile phone from Play Store, and you can directly use that on your mobile phones as well. It would kind of be a bit cumbersome, but yes, it would be, user friendly for you guys as well. If you have created a dashboard or if you have worked on Excel earlier or Google Sheets earlier, it would be very beneficial for you. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we talked about this Google Lens. We
Yeah.
are trying to actually convert an image into text format.
Right.
Does it support converting it into some other language also?
Yes, it does. So again, you can kind of hover your mobile phone on any given language. For example, if you can find, the Google Lens can read any language. Gujarati, Urdu, English, Hindi, Marathi, Punjabi, whatever you want to read, Google Lens can read it. And then there is an option of translation as well. Transliteration I have not seen yet. If I find it across, I'll let you guys know about that as well. But translation is very much possible. For example, whatever you read right now on my mobile phone screen, it was the basics of management. If you hit on translate on the very same screen, there is a translate button. When you hit on that, it asks you which language you want to translate that to. For example, English to Hindi, Hindi to English, or whatever you want to do. You can do that, and the text will be translated. Whatever it reads, it will translate for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I would end this session and hand over to Azim. And I would appreciate whoever has any questions, you can directly contact me, or you can drop me a message and I'll contact you if at all I'm not available at that point of time. Azim, handing back to you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ashfaq. So as we reach the end of this workshop, I would like to let everyone know that if any of you is interested to learn more on MS Excel, we would be more than willing to conduct more such workshops, and you can reach out to us on the number shared in the chat section. The YouTube link is also shared in the chat section. So if you want to revisit the concepts taught today, you can go check it out there. The recording will also be uploaded in the YouTube channel. I thank all the attendees who have joined and participated. Hope you all have gained some valuable knowledge from today's session. I also thank Mr. Ashfaq for conducting this workshop, which has provided us with important and interesting insights on MS Excel. Again, thank you all for attending this workshop and hope you all have a pleasant evening ahead. Thank you.
उसकी जो